And there is a live picture from Mid-Ohio, where we're already into the 6th lap of what is already a very dramatic motor race. The reason for the drama is that we had a spin-off on turn 1, which has already set the pattern for this race. More about that in a moment. Because this race is expected to last rather more than 2 hours, and we appreciate that you want to see the finish, we have had to miss the start. But in a moment or two's time, we, by means of a split screen, will show you the start, and we'll show you that dramatic first turn incident. But there in your picture now is the race leader, number 7, Peter Revson. And the big news is that Denny Hulme was the man who spun on turn 1, and that Denny Hulme, the grand old man of Can-Am, is out of this Mid-Ohio race. So there we are. Peter Revson, the leader of the last 2 races, is already in the lead. In second place is number 1, the world champion-elect Jackie Stewart. In third place is number 20, Joe Seifert. In fourth place is number 29, Vic Elford. In fifth place, number 48, Herbert Muller. And in sixth place, number 55, McCaig. So those are the first 6 places of this already dramatic race. As I say, just a moment's time, we shall, by means of the split-screen technique, give you those dramatic opening moments when on that turn 1, 4 or 5 cars were involved. Amongst them, Denny Hulme, we told you about, number 88, the young Japanese, Hiroshi Katsato, number 11, Lothar Motschenbacher, and number 54, Tony Adamovitz. But they are now back in the race. It's Denny Hulme who's out of this Can-Am.
Tony, I think this is a testimony to the comments that were made by the drivers before the race, that this course being so tight and so narrow, 15 turns, that it might present a problem. And as often occurs in a first lap, this is the most critical, the first and second laps, when the cars are deeply bunched up. And as you said, Tony, we're going to be able to show them this dramatic first lap in which Denny Hulme was eliminated and 3 or 4 other cars collided.
Yes, Jeff, that is indeed fact, and perhaps we should say what this drama was, because this race certainly had its share of pre-start drama. Last night there was a move from the leading teams, and that means Team McLaren and Jackie Stewart, as we've already said in opening remarks, to have the length of the race reduced. And there you can see, now on the picture, you can see Denny Hulme's McLaren parked against the barrier just outside turn 1. This is our camera 2 now. Following the race leader, Peter Revson, through the twists and turns up to the keyhole, and there he goes around this very tight keyhole and down the back straight. But more of this drama. Team McLaren and the Carl Haas entered Lola suggested that the course was in such bad condition for Can-Am cars and had deteriorated so much since they raced here last year that the course was really no longer suitable for these cars, or put it the other way, that the cars were no longer really designed for the course. And they therefore suggested that the duration of the race should be cut from its 80 laps to 50. Now, the stewards of the meeting consulted with the number of leading drivers, and as a result of this, they decided that it should run the full distance. And coming up very shortly is our split screen showing you the opening lap and the drama that we had.
Incidentally, Tony, the speed so far, the fastest trap speed, has been turned in the main straight by Peter Revson, 166.667 miles an hour. And, of course, the second place car with Jackie Stewart turned 164.3. And the SDP Porsche turned 155.844.
And here indeed is the split screen. Now watch this picture. They're just coming out of the pace lap, and it's all turn 1 that it happens. The tape at the top, this is what we saw when the race started, and the live down below, and it's into turn 1. Wait for our camera 2 to pick it all up. Look at the cars going wide. Denny Hulme, Hiroshi Katsato, Tony Adamovitz, Lothar Motschenbacher. Look at the melee there, all over the track. That's out of the first turn, and out of that, as we have told you, it was Peter Revson and Jackie Stewart who came out of it. And as that happens, and we see that recorded incident, we've got information passed up to us that Denny Hulme's car broke his drive shaft going into turn 1. And he was left without any brakes as a result of this, because the rear disc brakes are inboard. The car spun, he was hit by another car. Denny Hulme was unhurt, but we do know that the Gulf McLaren is very badly damaged indeed. So a reminder once again that at the top of your screen, you've got the taped opening laps, and at the bottom of the screen, you've got lap 9 of this Mid-Ohio Can-Am, live as it happens.
Denny Hulme has had his share of troubles too, Tony, because he had to have his knee drained the day before the race. He had a very stiff knee, and of course his hands are still giving him trouble from the burns he got in Indianapolis, so it's a tough break for him.
Yes, Jeff, I understand that knee was as a result of a rugger injury which he had 15 years ago at school, and it's never bothered him since until he came over here for this Mid-Ohio race. I had a quick word with him this morning, and I said, Denny, is it troubling you? But he said no, and he anticipated being able to go the whole distance. We are going to show you the starting grid as it happened. There was in pole position Denny Hulme. This is coming over the live picture, remember now. In second was Peter Revson, the star of McLaren's this year. Third, Jackie Stewart in the Lola, the world champion-elect. Fourth, Joe Seaford. Fifth, Lothar Muschenbacher. Sixth, Dave Causey. Seventh, Tony Adamovitz. Eighth, Hiroshi Kitato. 9, Chuck Parsons. 10, Bob Brown. 11, Herbert Muller. The Swiss. 12, Milt Minter. 13, Dick Durant. 14, Roger McCabe, the successful Canadian. 15, Gordon Dewar. 16, Vic Elford. 17, Tom Dutton. 18, Bob Nagel. 19, Danny Hopkins. 20, George Shobham. 21, Jim Butcher. 22, Bob Kemple. 23, Stanley Zarkovitz. And 24, Jerry Hodges. And I understand we've got action in the pits. Alan Sloan, what is it?
Thank you very much, Tony. We cannot get Denny Hulme. Denny Hulme is a very, very unhappy young man. But we do have the part of his car, when you talk about thousands and thousands of dollars involved in Can-Am racing, this is the broken drive shaft that cost Denny Hulme the race. Right there in the first lap, and that's the way it looks. We're going to try to get hold of Denny a little bit later on. He doesn't want to talk to anybody right now, and I can't say that I blame him. But hopefully a little bit later on, when he cools down, we'll be back here in the pits with Denny Hulme and other drivers. Now let's get back to the action, and Tony.